Hi again, everyone. I'm olliemathews. This is Societal Narcissism. No contribution with this video. Before I get to the subject matter, please go to the description box and click the Rumble link. Please watch over there as I'm still monetized. It'll help out with the channel. So, on to the subject matter at hand. So as I approach 32,000 subscribers and, I'm like just looking over things on the channel and what to do. I basically come to the end of the queue. I got one more video from Teresa to do, and that's it. I'm out of sponsorships. I'm out of sponsored videos, anything like that. So please, if you have a story you'd like to get in and you want to sponsor and support the channel, please do, because I'm at the end of the queue in sponsorships and could really use it. Okay. Now, something I've done several times on this channel is go back to the beginning and show you where it started with phone call from narcissistic mother. And then I've done gaslighting mother lying on phone a few times because, those are audio files. That's how the channel started. But then I kind of realized, well, those were phone call with narcissistic mother was, it was like a hammer. That wasn't recorded to be put on YouTube. That was recorded for, so I had evidence. It wasn't recorded for anything like YouTube. I never thought anything like that would ever happen with it at the time when I recorded it. So truly, the first video is the one I posted. The next one after that was with my life with narcissistic parents, 1 through 6, and I recommend those, but I've never actually gone back and watched them, or if I have, it has to be 11 years. I mean, I can't remember the last time, or if I ever, because I rarely go back and watch my own videos. Like, I have a hard time watching myself. But I'm interested to see this video, and I'll probably end up doing all 6 of them, just to see the beginning and to analyze from where I was to where I am, and how this is really the beginning of the channel. And those of you who haven't seen this, I guess this is a first time. So, without further ado, we'll go right. Jeez, I was a mess. Now, where I am, I'm in the old place, the original apartment we moved into. Oh, God, it was so depressing. After leaving this beautiful 2-2 in Plantation, losing that after I lost my job. Oh. I didn't even set up the bedroom. I'm in the bedroom. We put the living room stuff in the bedroom and just slept in there on the couch because it was and I just locked myself in there, closed the door like for months until I'm like, I got to get out of here. And it was starting the channel that led me to get out of that bedroom. Like, all right, I got it. Once I started talking about it, now I'm looking at it and I remember once I started talking about it, it helped me move forward to just get out of that bedroom, which was I had completely enclosed off. The living room was just storage, was just the bed, and it wasn't even put together. We weren't sleeping. We were sleeping on the sectional couch that went in there in pieces. And then we had a mattress that I would just throw on the floor at night, and then because I didn't want to come out of there because I was just so upset and so ashamed and just felt so lost. Jesus, you could just see it in my face. And I was home alone, and Ufree had started that job at that club. And I had already been talking to my webcam, but I had never actually done it with the intention of posting anything. And this is the first time I posted anything. I filmed anything with the intention of posting it. Jeez. All right, here we go. And I know the sound isn't going to be too good on this. Yeah, wow.
Hello, my name is Oliver Matthews. I
Oh,
am
you said Oliver.
the 40-year-old adult son of two.
So this is 12 years old. I'm 40 here. This is me at 40. God, I look horrible. I look better now. Shit. Oh, wait. I mean, God, it's all fuzzy and all. This was on a cheap laptop. The sound is terrible. Man, I look terrible. And this is 12 years ago.
Narcissistic parents. My mother is a narcissist, borderline personality disorder, and my father is narcissistic personality disorder. Some of you might have already have seen my original posting of a phone call I had with my mother about 4 years ago, right before I went no contact when I left New Jersey to relocate to South Florida. And I've been no contact with them since divorce, and I'm going to get into that. What I wanted to do here was start a video blog of my thoughts and basically go through my life from my earliest memories of childhood, stories that I want to relate and tell.
Because I was sitting here. Not here, but there. I was sitting there alone. Like, this is a year and a half after losing my job. I can't get an interview. I can't get a job. I can't get anything. Nobody cared. You fell off the face of the earth. Nobody cared, and I just had all these thoughts, and I'm like, I gotta just start blurting it out.
And get out there, and hopefully it can help some other people. Some other people can relate. Maybe some people give feedback back to me, do some video responses back. I think everybody can help each other out with.
I'm shot here. I am shot. I must have gotten, because I could see myself. I got so stoned just to even have the courage to do this. Jesus.
Because this narcissism thing it's brutal. It's brutal, and it doesn't go away. And it's just a monster, and it's devastating, and you feel alone, and you just feel out there, and on one hand you're real happy, at least on my end. I'm real happy that there's other people, similar stories, exact same stories, because I always thought it was just such a freak that nobody could understand.
That was the thing. Once you realized that there were other people that shared the same stories you could never even put in the words, you couldn't verbalize in a way people could understand.
And on the other hand, it's even more depressing. What does that say about humanity? That there are so many people in this world that are programmed to do and say the exact same things and react the exact same way. And that alone can make you feel pretty small, I think. In the grand scheme of humans and the universe and what have you. It's depressing. It is. And
I was in a bad spot here. I was in a bad way. I may have even been. I had to have been. This is why I'm like, you're either going to talk about this or. I was in a bad way mentally. I didn't even realize. Jeez, I didn't even realize how bad I was.
you gotta keep a positive outlook, and I found, it's better to see the stories and hear the stories, and that to not know about them, because at least you know you're not alone and you're not a freak. You know, especially for me, because I had such a hard time with it, and my identity, and just, you know, who I am as a person and what I wanted to be as a person. I still don't really know. I'm 40 years old, and
now I'm 52, and I still don't know. I'm still trying to figure this shit out. We all are. 12 years. I was 40 here.
I'm just starting to think about now what exactly I want, and that's why I wanted to do this as a series of, you know,
I think that's what I said to myself. Like, what do you want? Do you want to die? It's kind of like, I guess, what I did in November with the weight. This thing keeps bringing me to the edge of destruction. That's what our childhood keeps doing. That's the gift. It keeps making us repeat, bringing us to the edge of destruction. And the problem is too many of us can't pull back. I'm lucky enough I've been able to pull back. And I don't know why I keep getting opportunity after opportunity like this to keep pulling back. But it must be to do this, because everything keeps leading me back to this channel. This is weird. This is weird to look at.
How I got there, and I think how maybe we all got to where we are in life. So I wanted to start today, you know, because everybody, I suggest you could check out my phone call with my mother, and some of you probably already heard it, so you know what the basis is for her, and I'll be talking a lot about her. You know, I wanted to start off with a story about who exactly my father is, so you have an understanding of the type of person you're dealing with. My father started scamming the Social Security system at 41 years old.
All right, so I started with him. I guess that would be because I was a phone call from a narcissistic mother. Okay. Let's see where this goes. I just don't remember.
A year older than I am now. Some kind of thing that nobody could figure out, but he couldn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So he was at home.
41 years old, yeah, year older than I am here.
And one night we had this elderly lady lived across the street. One night he comes home and it was icy because it's
I just told this story again recently.
New Jersey, and that year was '93. There were a lot of blizzards. Found her at the bottom of her front steps, and she had like a long set of brick front steps. You know, where we lived, it's a lot of money, very affluent. We all had these these really nice fronts of the houses, big front steps. So this woman was 80, 82, 83 years old at the time, bloody, cut up, falls down. You know, he calls the ambulance, and they take her to the hospital, what have you. So she comes home, and she goes, she really doesn't have much family, or she doesn't have really any family. My father starts checking in on her. And within 6 months, he had her sign her house over to him. Mm-hmm. Will is her house and all her possessions to him.
Mm-hmm. Just told the story. It happened. And the night she died, they were in there ransacking that shit. So at least if you're watching this more recently and you haven't seen this, you know I've been consistent since the very beginning about these stories about my parents.
And I think she was dead within another 6 months. So within a year, he's found.
And the thing was, I was 93. I was on the fire department in that town, and we answered EMS calls. But I was at work that night. It happened at night. I was at work. I wasn't on the call. So I found out about it when I got home.
Found a woman at the bottom of the staircase, and then went over to take care of her a little bit, bring her things, and got her to sign over all her worldly possessions to him.
It's the most incredible thing. Not even incredible. It's such a shit move. Such a shit move, me. I still can't believe you pulled that shit off. I really can't. And everybody applauded him. What a hero. What a hero.
Ended up selling her house for $225,000, and I think it was another $150,000 in assets on top of it. Like that. And that's the type of narcissist my father is.
He didn't share a cent of that with me or my brother. Like, you figured you would step into that kind of money. Like, hey, like, why don't you, like, I asked, like, hey, why don't you let me buy this house? Oh, if I'm going to make my money. Like, nope. That's what I'm talking about with the boomer wealth. Made almost $400,000 off that transaction. What did he end up doing? They ended up buying a shore house. Trash.
He'll steal the shirt off your back and smile at you while doing it, make you think he's doing you a favor.
Yep.
The type that will always make you think like you're crazy, and make you believe it. Like, well, maybe I am crazy, as he's screwing you over.
Yep.
Making you feel bad that he's screwing you over, and he was the ultimate. Yep. He's the ultimate salesman.
Yep. That's what my ex-father-in-law called him, the ultimate salesman.
Something my ex-father-in-law used to call him the ultimate salesman. He could sell anything.
Yep.
Always wheeling and dealing, always BSing.
Master bullshit artist. Proud of it. If he's watching this, he has a big smile on his face right now. He has a big shit-eating grin. Can't help himself.
Incapable of telling the truth. Incapable of telling the
Impossible.
truth about anything.
Anything.
So there's kind of the
man. I can't. I was having a rough time here, man. The system breaks you. It breaks you.
Basis of my father, it's a pretty horrible thing. What he did to that woman. Not that he mistreated her, but
he never mistreated. That he didn't do. I will say that. He didn't mistreat her. He didn't beat her. He wasn't throwing her. That he didn't do. No. He just scammed her through niceness.
Money she was planning on giving it to an orphanage or
that's right.
Boys Town in Newark, New Jersey. Or
Boys Town. She was going to give it to the Boys Town orphanage in Newark.
Yeah, it was definitely some sort of orphanage. And he ended up getting her to will it because he deserved it. Because he would take her to the doctor or bring her
groceries. Have my mother do her shopping for her. That's it. Checked in on her a couple times a day. She did call him a lot. She did become dependent on him but he wanted to be. He put himself in that position. So so everybody could say, "Oh, you deserve that money, Brian." Like, Jesus. Because once you're at that age, once you fall over the age of 70, it's downhill from there quickly.
It was horrible. girl, and then to have everybody rifling through her stuff the day she died, like the day she died. They were in that house, and I was there included.
Me too. I said it.
My
I
mother,
said
my
I was.
father, my brother, and me in that house, going through, searching her. What can they sell? And they
Everything.
have. And then here's the thing.
Everything. Everything they can sell.
My parents have money. They got a lot of money.
A lot of money. Even more now. Ridiculous money.
They got their own money. They got family money on both sides.
Now that my grandfather's gone, my father got that money. My mother's life insurance, whatever her pension was, he got that. My ex-wife's parents died. She got that house. He's running her finances. He got that. Oh, you're just such trash meat. You're just such trash. I'm near suicidal here. I mean, I didn't realize how bad I was back then. Whew. And I went and nearly did it to myself again. So, what's wrong with me?
It wasn't really about the money. It was about the conquering, the acquiring. Look what I got. Look what I did.
And like I said, if he just would have went into business with his brother in construction, there'd have been a family empire. But he'd rather do it through screwing people over, because he's smarter than everybody else. And rides the bus to the city and wears a suit. Like, big fucking deal. You work in retail, dummy. Congratulations. You got a fucking discount on the suit.
And for my father, it was about everybody thinking what a wonderful guy he is. Mm-hmm. Oh, there he is, taking care of the sick woman. Isn't he the best? Isn't he the best? Oh, and he's sick too. He can't even work. Meanwhile, ain't nothing wrong with that dude.
Nothing.
There ain't a thing wrong with that guy.
Not a thing.
Everybody's pitying on him, like, oh, he's so sick, and yet he's helping this old woman. Oh yeah, Brian, I think it's great.
Meanwhile, he's outlived his wife, all his sisters, his sister-in-law. I mean, he's outlived everybody. Both my ex-in-laws and my ex-brother-in-law. Like, and yet this guy's like how sick he is. He's outlived everybody. Everybody. And he's never had to miss one fucking thing he's ever wanted to do. Not one day of vacation, not one ride on the boat, not one car purchase, not anything. Anything. All of these episodes are all very conveniently happen, like when it's something he doesn't want to do or when something my mother wanted. And conveniently, he never had one of these episodes in front of me, my Aunt Ginny, or my Aunt Barbara. What do the three of us have in common? The two of them are nurses, and I'm an ex-firefighter EMT. Weird, Brian. Weird.
She left you the house. She gave you the house. She left you the house. Really? Did you think about this? That's the type of charisma my father has. Dangerous. I didn't even realize how dangerous he was until maybe 5 years ago. That I really realized that he was the problem. Because my mother's so outwardly aggressive that he can actually hide his narcissism behind my mother, because my mother's borderline personality narcissist. So he's basically hiding back there playing the victim. Oh, this poor Brian with this crazy wife out there. Oh, I don't know how he does it. Yeah. And then meanwhile, he's just building like sympathy and capital of just looking, and he feeds off that. That's like his energy, like that.
Just fuel. Everybody thinks how fucking great I am. Everybody talking about what a fucking great guy I am. Well, I'm standing behind the curtain, jacking it to their wives in my fucking banana hammock. Okay? You creep. You fucking creep.
That pity, and people just thinking, not even pity, just people thinking how great he is it's like the greatest drug in the world for him. He can't get enough of it. He's
Straight into his veins. Straight into his veins.
always going to take the opposing side. Which is why it shouldn't be surprising, which I knew, and I knew when I knew my marriage was over, and I knew I had to get out and had to get a divorce. Like, one of the things that basically kept me in the marriage was I knew my parents were going to turn on me.
I knew it. As much as they bitched about her, I knew eventually they would turn on me. You just know it.
Even though for 14 years, all they did was complain about my wife.
Yep.
That's all they did. But I knew it, and I didn't know why I knew it until I thought about it. And I remember when I was a kid, one of my father's sisters, she was married less than a year. She wanted out of the marriage.
Talked about this ad nauseum when Lita tried to get divorced from Greg. Under a year they were married.
And the whole family freaked out. And I remember going down to my grandparents' house, my father's parents, and walking in the living room. And there's the husband, my Uncle Greg, who's not the family. He's the outside member, sitting there crying. Everybody, oh, Greg, this is the worst. This is the most horrible thing ever. Lita's the worst. So, like, basically my whole family has to throw your own family member under the bus and crowd the other person. And I remember my father eventually had my aunt over to the house, and I heard what he...
Right, because she was living in the next town over in Lodi. And we used to go sit outside her apartment where she was living with this guy and just watch it. Me and my mother, me and my father, we just used to sit there watching, just like, what are we doing? So we're just saying, shut up, man. So we're just sitting, shut up. All right. Gang stalking.
He was saying to her, you'll be out of the family. Nobody's going to care about you. You got to go. You're going to go back. You're going to do, you're going to be done.
I came home from baseball practice, and my father had Lita at the table, at the kitchen table, just telling her, threatening her what she's going to do, how it's going to be. And she went back, and she never forgave them for it.
And she broke, and she was scared, and she went back. And she ended up, years later, freaking out and going no contact. And at the time, I didn't realize what... Everybody was just like, oh, Lita's crazy, Lita's crazy, Lita's crazy. That's the aunt.
Yep, Lita's crazy. She was the first one to go no contact because she resented it, and because I didn't understand, like, because she had the most disdain for my father and for Kenny, my father's second kid, my father's younger brother. Because Kenny had to live in my father's shadow. Lita had to live in Adrian's shadow. Adrian was the firstborn girl. Lita was the fourth born. And then Tina had a different experience because she was the oops baby. So Lita felt she had a special bond with Kenny. She was pissed at Kenny for not having her back. But she fucking resented my father for what he did at that table. Because it was him who laid all these threats and what's it's going to be and telling her what her fucking life was going to be. After a year, she knew she didn't want to be with the guy. All right, she wanted out. There were no kids. There was nothing. There were no kids, nothing. She was walking out on a family. And it was at that moment I knew if he's going to do this to his own freaking sister, he'll do it to anybody. And the thing about it was, when he was doing it, I could tell he was enjoying it. It wasn't like it was breaking his heart or he was doing it out of love. No. He was doing it because he was getting off on the freaking power it gave him. Always looking for some kind of moral authority to beat you over the head with. And she died of a brain tumor. She never really forgave she made amends with Kenny at the end. And then we went in to go see her right before she died. And she recognized me. She was happy to see me. And then my father went in. She said she would see him, and she did, but you could tell she did not want him there. She did not want him there. She did not want my mother there. She didn't want fucking Adrian there. She didn't want it. She didn't want it. And it sucks because she ended up having 3 kids with Gregory, 3 girls. So how do they feel with their mother? Because she was constantly losing her mind. She was constantly losing her mind because she didn't want to be there. And she probably became somewhat borderline at that point. But I get why.
But Lita wasn't. I figured out now. Lita wasn't crazy. Lita went no contact.
Yep.
Lita went no contact because they forced her to be in a marriage she didn't want to be in.
Yep.
She didn't even have kids at the time. She wasn't even married to this guy a year yet.
Yep.
And the whole family turns on her. For what? She's your sister.
At least my story is consistent, right? No wonder. This is what I came from. No wonder I was a goddamn disaster.
And then my father did the same thing, so it wasn't any surprise that my father would do the same thing to me.
I was waiting
when
for
I
it.
got a divorce.
He knew it was coming.
Finding some kind of fault with me. Ends up paying for my ex-wife's attorney. Shows up in court to testify against me.
With an accordion folder. Like, what was in the folder? I still want to know, what was in that fucking folder? Like, what? What were you going to tell him? What?
For what, I have no idea. But he just thinks he's Perry Mason because he sits home all day watching Law and Order and thinks that's how the judicial system works.
Just like every other boomer, through the TV.
It was soul crushing to see your own father come to court to testify against you.
But not surprising. The reality of it was like, my God, this is real. This is really who he is. But it wasn't surprising.
But it shouldn't be, a shock because when my brother was 17 years old, they found a marijuana seed in his car. They turned him into the police. Their own son.
Talked about that.
Always.
Remember Precious? Remember what your senior year was like, Precious? You can keep having him over your house, dummy.
That's my father's personality. Always, there's Brian, always doing the right thing. He doesn't, at the direction of his...
Mr. Man of Principle. There he goes. Slow clap, everybody. Slow clap for Meat.
His own son. And what's even more disheartening about all that, with them turning against me at the divorce, even though I knew it was going to come, and how bad it really is what they did to me, is, I moved to Florida, and wherever you're watching this, there was a case, or there's a mother down here basically killed their own kid.
Casey Anthony. I bring it up all the time.
Killed her own kid in a car. And then ends up, she's at trial. She ends up blaming her brother and her father for raping her, all types of abuse. They're the one, says they killed the kid. They did it. They also raped me, abused me. And there's her parents sitting on her side of the courtroom, supporting her, knowing she murdered her own kid. I got a divorce. My father showed up in court to testify against me. About what, I have no idea. You know, I didn't cut the lawn right the way but that's the way it's always been. So it's stories like that. So my next video, I'm going to basically start from when I was a kid, from my earliest memories. And I do have one thing, I have a memory like a steel trap. And I'm not going to hold anything back, and as it comes out, I'm going to bring it up, and feel free to comment or respond, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.
Whew. Well, that was interesting, huh? I was in a bad way. Man, they fucked me up. Man, they fucked me up. So, it's unbelievable how much I've come and how much I've, in 12 years. I mean, I think I look better now. I got more gray, obviously, but somebody told me I was a silver fox yesterday, which was kind of weird, but hey, it is what it is. So, that was interesting. I think I'm going to have to go through the other ones. So, if you want to sponsor one of those, you guys know what to do with the links in the description box, or make a contribution in general. Sure could use it right now because I am at the end of the queue. And so leave your opinions in the description box below. And if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both my channels on Rumble. If you haven't watched the video on Rumble, please do. Even a click helps. Follow me on X and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.